Hello and welcome. I'm Chris, and I'm here to tell you about the case of Derrick Robie. At 13, Eric Smith viciously beat, strangled, murdered, and then sexually assaulted a 4-year-old boy. That boy's name was Derrick Robie. On Tuesday, August 3rd, 1993, 4-year-old Derrick Robie's body was found deceased 3 blocks from his home in Savona, Steuben County, New York, in a nearby park. State police immediately announced Robie's death as a homicide because of the multiple body trauma that resulted in his murder. Police eventually arrest Eric Smith, a 13-year-old bully, for Robie's murder and sentence him to 9 years to life in prison. Derrick Robie of 33 Church Street was an ordinary boy just like everyone else's kid, according to his uncle. Derrick was the son of Dale and Doreen Robie, an avid t-ball and soccer player. He also had a younger brother that was 2. An autopsy on Derrick's body revealed several head injuries, including multiple skull fractures and cerebral swelling, and contusions, extensive tearing and bleeding of tissue in the chest, a perforation to the intestinal wall, pinpoint hemorrhages on the neck, face, and eyes indicative of asphyxiation. More shockingly than his official cause of death, though, was the stick stuffed inside of his rectum. According to the confession of Eric Smith, he had a, quote, stick up his butt, end quote. The arrest of 13-year-old Eric Smith was swift, and the teen was quickly charged with second-degree murder of Derrick Robie. Prior to his arrest, Eric Smith lied to the police, saying that he never saw Robie on the day of the murder. But later, with the help of his family, admitted that he not only saw Derrick, but also led him into a wooded area to carry out his murder. Later testimony from Eric Smith revealed that he himself was also bullied regularly, both at school and at his own home. Smith showed a very low level of self-esteem, often telling himself that he wasn't good enough for society and believed himself as unattractive. Smith was a troubled kid by most accounts, being held back twice for failure to hit normal milestones at his age. His biological father refused to pay child support, and Lori Elliott, whom he often lived with, stated, "I sort of look after him. He didn't have very many friends. I felt sorry for him. He was really withdrawn." Eric Smith also fit into the McDonald triad, a trifecta of 3 traits coined in 1963 by forensic psychiatrist J.M. McDonald, often seen in future murderers that include animal cruelty, fire starting, and bedwetting. In Eric Smith's childhood, he threw constant tantrums, banging his head repeatedly on the wall, and had speech problems. Became attracted to girls by the age of 4, became a heavy smoker by the age of 9, and would often drool when speaking in normal conversations. Eric also engrossed himself in the writings of Stephen King and Christopher Pike, whom wrote about themes of teenage violence, murder, and gore. Later at the trial, Stephen T. Herman, MD, would testify in Eric's defense that the teen suffered from intermittent explosive disorder and dysthymic disorder, low-grade depression, that rendered him unable to control his range and unable to understand or appreciate the nature and consequences of his actions. It's also worth noting that his mother, while pregnant with Eric, was on epilepsy and depression medications, which many doctors believe influence his birth traits. Eric Smith is still in prison for the murder of Derrick Robie and has been denied parole several times. Smith claims he has changed and dreams of becoming a forensic psychiatrist so that he can, quote, have an opportunity to help other people and not to commit crimes, end quote. And that's what he told the parole board. Since being locked up in prison, Eric Smith has learned carpentry and electrical work, and also received his equivalent to a high school diploma. Eric Smith said, quote, "I know it was a serious crime. I've taken responsibility for it. I wish I had never committed this crime. I do regret it. I have remorse for the victim and the victim's family." End quote. Smith was 13 when he was accused of killing Derrick Robie on August 1993. He was tried as an adult and convicted of second-degree murder following a trial in Steuben County Court. His lawyer at trial tried to persuade the jury that Smith suffered from a mental disorder. Smith, who was now 41, was sentenced to 9 years to life in prison and first became eligible for parole in 2002. He was previously denied parole 10 times. Following an 11th hearing, October 5, 2021, the state granted Smith parole and he could be released from custody at the Woodbourne Correctional Facility as early as November 17, 2021. I've known of this case for as long as I can remember. I've followed it so closely because I personally live in Steuben County, New York. Please do consider subscribing to the channel. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.